Hi, my name's J.P. Hubbard. Tonight I'm going to give a speech commemorating my grandfather. To me, he was Pop. To everyone else, he was Mr. Hubbard. We all have two grandfathers, whether we know them or not. Some of us just hear stories, some of us never even know them. But I was lucky enough to know my Pop. He was my dad's dad. I consider myself fortunate to have known him until I was about 14. I used to love to sit on his porch and listen to him tell stories. I respected him so much, and so did everybody else. His stories just explain why everybody respected him so much, and why, as an adult, I venerate him. My pop started out life by humble means. He was born in Etowah County in 1932 on a cotton farm, in the same bedroom that he grew up in. It was a small 3-room house. He was one of 10 children that lived in that house. He shared a bed with his 3 brothers. He grew up picking cotton, hoeing cotton, hauling cotton. He also didn't have much to eat. Back then it was post-Depression times, and there wasn't a lot to go around. He got his first pair of shoes when he was 8. He also learned to drive when he was 8. Their farm was big enough that they could hire labor. So at 8 years old, he had to start going and picking up the laborers. He told me stories of how he would be starving and he would go to slice off pieces of fat off the pork in the spring box, and he would get whipped for it. By the time he was 17, he heard this rumor that there was an army recruiter in town and that they would feed you 3 times a day if you just signed up. But you had to be 18. His older brother was 18, so he found his older brother's birth certificate and went to the recruiter. But sadly, he didn't weigh enough. At the age of 17 and the height of 5'8", he only weighed 104 pounds. He had to gain 6 pounds before he could join the army. So he went into town. He had 19 cents to his name. He was able to buy enough bananas and drink enough water to go back to that recruiter at 110 pounds. That day changed his life forever. He went off to basic, learned how to protect himself, went to war. Fought in Korea with the 75th Wolfhounds. He was a Wolfhound Raider, a special operations unit that was meant to soften the enemy. He was sent out in small reconnaissance groups to kill as many Chinese as he could. And he did. And he saved a lot of his comrades in the process. At one point, a colonel tried to give him a battlefield commission as a captain. He refused because the officers were getting killed too fast. He exited the war by getting shot 4 times, saving 3 of his comrades, hijacking a fishing boat with an empty pistol, and making his way to a Navy ship. Just one of the crazy war stories that makes me respect him so much. Due to his combat experience, he was sent back to the United States to train the 101st Airborne, which is a very well-known unit. After his time in the military, he started a beautiful family. He had my aunt, my uncle, and my father. He had so many jobs. He ran the roads department for Etowah County. He had grocery stores, real estate. He worked at the steel plant. In fact, him and my grandmother were some of the first business people in the Gadsden area to give credit to people of color. Something I'm very proud of him for. He taught me so much. He taught me how to drive a car. He taught me how to drive a tractor. He taught me how to use a chainsaw. He taught me how to cut grass. But the most important things that he taught me didn't have anything to do with a vehicle or a tool. The most important thing that he taught me is that no matter how hard life gets, whether you're starving, you're riddled with bullet holes, and you're behind enemy lines, you haven't seen the sun in days, you've been forced to kill other human beings. No matter how hard life gets, when you've got a family to support, if you just keep working, it'll work itself out. If you trust in the process, the result will be worth it.